I kind of see myself and others who've gone through similar experiences as urban shamans, because if you don't know, shamans are people in the tribe that have had altered experiences when they're usually very young. So they're often the most sickly, and have definitely had these visions and hearing voices and altered states and all kinds of stuff. But in those communities, they're seen as, oh, that's potential. They could be a healer.
Often when we think about altered states, people who are labeled with things like schizoaffective and schizophrenia, it's often as Malidoma Patrice, a shaman from South Africa, would refer to this as good news from another realm. So we talk about these experiences sometimes as spiritual emergences, spiritual emergencies, breakdowns, breakthrough. And in Western medicine and Western culture and amongst Western peoples, we're so quick to pathologize those experiences.
I had a very profound experience that completely transformed my life. What happened is I went to bed one night on February the 19th, 2016, fell asleep, had a very, very profound lucid dream. And the next morning when I woke up, I was flooded, when I opened my eyes and I looked around the room, I was flooded with this incredible sense of unity, of oneness, of complete interconnection with the universe, something that I had never had even a glimpse of before in my life. It was a very profound and powerful moment for me. And I was filled with this incredible sense of unconditional love, again, a love that I'd never experienced in my life, despite having been brought up in a very loving family, surrounded by love. It was something completely different.
I have lived experience with 30 plus years of a major depressive disorder, on medications and fully controlled, knowing that if I stop medications, it comes back. And I also have lived spiritual experiences with the characteristics that others have described, with connectedness, vitality, energy, synchronicities.
What I didn't know or realize about the world of psychiatry until long after I exited it, really recently, is that there's a kind of silent contract that you sign when you become a patient of psychiatry. I know not everybody's going to believe this, but I know that I ended up in the hospital 3 separate times because of side effects from these meds.
Hey!
Hey! How are you? We've discussed how important the indigenous traditions are that talk about the voices of their ancestors. Mm-hmm. And that's like the thing that I got myself first hospitalized for. And it was the thing that saved my life. And I couldn't believe that they would look at it as delusional or ill, and I wanted a pat on the back for getting myself home listening to those voices from India. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't believe that they were just like, no, you're mentally ill for the rest of your life. I said, this has got to be wrong. I feel like the current paradigm denies anything soulistic. And it's time for us to say, no, it's not enough. And frankly, it's, you know, if we want to get like constitutional about it, it is against, you know, I mean, people don't fight for their freedom of speech and freedom of religion enough.
We can find modalities for healing beyond the traditional Western model, and we've been doing that for hundreds and hundreds of years, right? So you have so many folks on tribal lands in these communities who have not seen a psychiatrist or a therapist in their life, right? Because they've understood that the elders in the community, there is wisdom in the community to build that capacity for each other.
Right.
Now, that's not to completely knock everything that's related to the Western model, but that is to say that we can't have such a narrow view of all of this.
It's like they've erased all the spiritual traditions, all the wisdoms, you know, like, it's so strange to me because it's most of the world. It's most of the world's beliefs. It's, if you look at